From the WDAY News Center, this is Ty Schonert, and it's time for your Flag News Update. A Grand Forks Bar and Grill is now closed due to staffing shortages. Wild Bill's Sports Saloon owners posted recently on the restaurant's website that it'll be shutting down for good because it doesn't have enough workers to provide food or services to guests. The Post says they hope to find a local owner to take over the business. Owners thanked their longtime patrons. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is using his political spending to target the seat held by longtime state representative Jeff Delzer. The Dakota Leadership PAC, operated by former Burgum advisors, is sending out ads promoting two Republican candidates running against Delzer in next month's District 33 Republican primary. The ad supports Anna Novak and Mark Pierce, who are in the five-way race for two spots on the November ballot. Delzer is the chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, and his seat has been targeted before by Burgum's spending on other candidates. And a Minnesota man has been resentenced after his original attempted murder charge was thrown out by the North Dakota Supreme Court. Justices cited a 2018 filing error by prosecutors when reversing the charge. Lorenzo Pemberton entered into a plea agreement with the prosecutors earlier this week to avoid a second trial. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison. 10 years of the sentence was suspended. The charge stemmed from a domestic violence incident in February 2018 where Pemberton stabbed his girlfriend with a screwdriver. This is Ty Schonert with The Flag and AM 1100 theflag.com. First with the news when you need to know.
Why High Plains Apache? Well, there are so many reasons it's why High Plains Apache. Ask your neighbors about their sales and service or new and used deals on sprayers. The parts and service department, and yes, a very well-respected sales department. Everything you'll need to get started this season with the sprayers for your operation. You'll find out a lot more at the website, High Plains Apache Sprayers. You'll find them at highplainsapache.com. That's highplainsapache.com.
Russia claims a key victory in Ukraine. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Russian defense minister says Mariupol has been captured with the complete liberation of a steel plant that had been the last line of defense in a 3-month siege of that city. There's been no official response from Ukraine, but hundreds of Ukrainian fighters had recently evacuated the plant, turning themselves over to the Russians. The U.S. still sending weapons to Ukraine. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby.
We're doing it mostly with an eye towards what does Ukraine need in the fight that they're in right now. And the consistent answer that we get back is they need long-range fires.
Meaning weapons that fire long range. Meantime, a $40 billion Ukraine aid bill that won final approval yesterday in Congress is being flown to the president for his signature. He's in South Korea, the start of a 6-day Asian trip. Vice President Kamala Harris visiting a high school in Virginia to highlight infrastructure funding for new zero-emission school buses. There are nearly 500,000 school buses in the U.S., the nation's largest form of mass transit. A wild ride on Wall Street, the Dow swinging out of a 600-point drop to finish higher, up nearly 9 points, though still down for the week, the first 8-week slide in 90 years. The S&P also finishing higher, narrowly avoiding the official start of a bear market. Some encouraging words from the St. Louis Fed chief, who thinks the central bank should be more aggressive with rate hikes to fight inflation, pushing a key interest rate past 3%.
And to get to 3.5%, they could have to go close to a percentage point increase. We'll have to see how this plays out. But the Federal Reserve uses increasing interest rates to slow demand. The goal to do it subtly enough not to trigger a recession. Bullard sees the economy slowing now, but believes it will pick up at the end of the year, and he thinks they can avoid a recession.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence in St. Louis. America is listening to Fox News.
I tend to second-guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit Creon.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON.
Mostly cloudy for this evening with a slight chance for an isolated shower. We'll have a window to the northwest around 15 to 30, becoming 10 to 20 overnight. A frost advisory will go into effect as temperatures drop into the mid and lower 30s, a little closer to freezing up in the northern valley. We'll have lighter wind for your Saturday, still a slight chance for an isolated shower with highs in the upper 40s, and light wind for your Sunday. Sunshine comes back out with highs in the lower 50s. From the Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
It's only a matter of time before the woke political movement starts turning North Dakota's public schools into ideological backgrounds. Hi, folks. It's Scott Hannon here. There is good news. My friends at the Center of the American Experiment are officially launching American Experiment North Dakota with a series of events in Wahpeton and Grand Forks Tuesday, May 24th, May 25th in Fargo and West Fargo. Join us for a presentation on how parents can push back against the woke agenda. Visit AmericanExperimentND.org for more info. American Experiment ND, paid for by American Experiment North Dakota.
One more time, got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate and dance so free. One more time, this got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate.
The Chris Berg Show, where faith and freedom reign.
One more time.
Could the WHO, the World Health Organization, completely usurp our sovereignty here in the United States of America? Many of you, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in today. But also, many of you have been sending me emails and texts about this treaty that is going to be voted on next week, I believe over in Switzerland, and the possibility that the WHO could actually take over when there are pandemics that happen across the globe, and they basically would usurp our own sovereignty here in the United States of America. I know it sounds nuts. It sounds absolutely crazy. Like there's no way that we would just allow that to happen. And yet, did you think you would allow the government to lock you in your house? Did you think you would allow the government to shut down churches? Did you think governors would have these emergency powers basically indefinitely until they thought, okay, that's enough, that people would be walking around with masks, even there was really no science to say, hey, this is actually stopping anything? I mean, that's what's happened. That is how quickly we just acquiesced our God-given rights to the government. So I bring all this up because, first off, welcome to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. Today, we are going to free your mind. Do you want the red pill or do you want the blue pill? We're coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you and America fuel better. I brought this up a while ago, and I said to you, are you and I in like a real live Hunger Game situation? Like, are the elites just pulling the strings? Because remember, they're not the elites. We're the elites. But the alleged supposed elites, are they just pulling strings and running game theories on different situations? Remember Event 201? That happened. That was done by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins University. That was done before COVID struck. And if you go back and if you haven't seen that, we've put it here on the show, but they've got fake news, made up news coverage of a possible virus pandemic of a COVID or coronavirus. And they lay it out and it just goes boom, 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 boom. So how many of you have recently heard about the monkeypox situation, the possible outbreak of monkeypox? So let me give you some dates here, and these are important to remember, so please pay attention. But I saw this on May 18th. The United States made its first initial purchase of 13 million monkeypox, smallpox vaccines ordered. So May 18th, 13 million vaccines ordered. Now, it was maybe the same day later, and if we can put these up on screen here, I'm going to try and do that for the people that are watching. So May 18th, same day, first 2022 U.S. case of monkeypox confirmed in Massachusetts. Now, here's the thing. Right now, across the globe, there's about 146 reported cases of monkeypox. 146. I just mentioned to you on May 18th, the United States of America purchased 13 million doses of a monkeypox vaccine, which was approved by the FDA, unbeknownst to us, back in 2019. Now, why does this matter to you? I want you to pay attention. Back in March of 2021, NTI, it's an acronym, March of 2021, and I'm reading here from the actual document, from the actual game theory exercise document. March of 2021, NTI conducted a tabletop exercise on reducing high consequence biological threats, the third in a series of annual collaborations between NTI and the Munich Security Conference. Here's the exercise scenario back in March of 2021. Developed in consultation with technical and policy experts, the exercise scenario portrayed a deadly global pandemic involving an unusual strain of the monkeypox virus. It first emerges in fictional countries of Britannia and eventually spreads globally. Later in the exercise, the scenario reveals that the initial outbreak was caused by a terrorist attack using a pathogen engineered in a lab with inadequate biosafety and biosecurity provisions and weak oversight. Here's what I want you to know. I'm going to put this up on the screen for people watching. So this scenario done in March of 2021, they game theory this stuff out, just so you know. And in the actual document, I just put this up on Twitter and I put it up on our Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/Chris Berg Show if you want to see it with your own eyes, even though today you and I are told, hey, don't believe what you see with your own eyes. But I want to share this with you. So they go and game theory out a monkeypox, smallpox situation, and move one, attack. I'm quoting here from the document. Move one, attack, May 15th, 2022. Monkeypox outbreaks in Britannia, again, fake, country. 1,421 cases, 4 deaths, no international warnings or advisors. International alert and warning systems are the key issues. Now, keep in mind, what is happening next week? Just watch the Hunger Games. Watch the pandemic, okay? First, we purchased 13 million monkeypox vaccines when right now across the globe, there's 146 potentially known cases. Oh, by the way, let me just share this with you as well, so you know. According to the document from the Massachusetts Department of Health, or at least this story, the monkeypox virus does not spread easily between people. Weren't we told that initially? Remember when Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer were like, Nancy Pelosi is down in Chinatown in San Francisco. Coronavirus? What? Come on down to Chinatown. Come hang out. Chinatown. You can hang out with us. The virus does not spread easily between people. Transmission can occur through contact with bodily fluids, monkeypox sores, items that have been contaminated with fluids or sores, clothing, bedding, or through respiratory droplets following prolonged face-to-face contact. Here's what's interesting. And I've got so much of this to get into, and I just wish I could give you all the juiciest. Oh, by the way, just so you know, I think this is sort of, totally coincidence, right? This is going to be a total coincidence. But so 2 of the people that are heavily involved in the game theory for the monkeypox. What? You mean there's also a couple people here that game theoried the monkeypox that also were part of Event 201 that game theoried the coronavirus situation? Total coincidence. I mean, that, right? These are the conspiracy theory people, right? It's a conspiracy theory until about 6 months later when we find out, wait a second, it's actually true. What I think is important for you to know, it talks about here in this document. So this fake country, the Brianna government welcomes. Now, think about what's happening next week. Next week, the World Health Organization is going to go and they're going to vote on basically having global power usurping United States own sovereignty when it comes to a pandemic, and how we want to handle those kind of scenarios. So in this document, which is, again, from March of 2021, they game theory out the monkeypox. The Briannian government, fake government, welcomes international outbreak investigation and requests medical support from the WHO. Genome sequencing of the monkeypox patient samples reveals that the strain in Britannia contains mutations that make it resistant to existing vaccines. It goes on and on. This is what I wanted to share with you. So that was move one is what I just talked about, right? So move one is, hey, we've got these cases. We need the WHO's help. Move two happens on January 10th of 2023. So stay with me here. So we're talking roughly 6 months later, at which point now the monkeypox virus, according to this game theory, I'm telling you, this is the beauty of the Chris Berg show. We don't talk about the news. We don't talk about what happened. We are telling you what's going to happen so that you can be prepared and understand what's coming down the pipeline. So 6 months later, January 10th, 2023, this game theory says now the virus has spread to 83 countries with 70 million reported cases, causing more than 1.3 million fatalities. With no known effective therapies or vaccines, countries have had to rely on non-pharmaceutical interventions to mitigate the impacts of the pandemic. It goes on to talk about how certain countries, they needed to aggressively adopt measures to slow the virus transmission. Wait for it. Wait for it. What do you think the key was to slowing down the transmission of the monkeypox virus? Don't we have an election coming up here in November? Oh, yeah, that's right. We do. So the countries that utilized these strategies saw the least amount of deaths, according to this game theory, saw the least amount of transmission because they shut down mass gatherings, imposed social distancing measures, and implemented mask mandates. Didn't New York just recently implement another mask mandate? Yeah, I think they did. Now, saying like going, Berg, come on, right? So these guys did a game theory on monkeypox, and they happened to get the date almost to the day right. Okay, one off, I get it. Go watch Event 201 about the coronavirus. You tell me if this isn't Hunger Games and we're part of some movie and or psyop. And better yet, I'll give you another one. If it happens 3 times in a row, maybe that might change your mind that, hey, the elites think they're pulling the strings. I read this to you a while ago, and I just want to do it again so that you understand that this stuff is out there. It's out there if you just do your homework and go find it. This is from November 12th of 2015. 2015, 65 countries got together with Cargill, international policymakers, academics, business leaders. And I'm quoting now the document from November 12th of 2015. In the face of a steep price hike with looming global food shortages in 2022, in 2015, they are calling about the steep price hike and looming global food shortages in 2022. What did I tell you yesterday? The Economist yesterday on the cover of The Economist said, basically, get ready, food shortage crisis coming. That's not verbatim, but then it goes on to say this. At one point, it's the EU suspended its environmental rules for ag and taxes on meat. This document then says the most eye-catching result of the whole game theory was the deal between the U.S., EU, India, and China, because now we realize that we've got to lower carbon emissions, and the way to do that is with a global carbon tax, ESG. Again, maybe it's all a coincidence. I would just encourage you to go to our Facebook page, check me out on Twitter, and you can read this document that talks about how they did a tabletop exercise, they called it. A tabletop exercise around the monkeypox virus that, again, they said back in March of 2021 that there was going to be an attack on May 15th of 2022. On May 18th, the United States, which obviously had happened a couple days before because that's when the news came out. May 18th, we get the news that the U.S. just bought 13 million vaccines of the monkeypox, smallpox. First known case of 2022 happens in Massachusetts on May, must have been 17th or 16th because the news came out on the 18th. But it's all a coincidence. Coming up next, boy, I could go on and on and on, and you get the gist of this. We may cover this more on Monday. But coming up next, obviously the horrific shooting that took place in Fargo. Fargo Police Chief Dave Zibolski is going to join us to give us the latest on that. If you want to email the show, please do so. It's studio@chrisbergshow.com. Thank you to Red Wing Shoes. Stick around, much more coming up.
Big news. A recent study finds Americans.
Your farm and business depends on a reliable source for energy. PetroServe USA is the customer-owned co-op committed to being a stable source of fuel for your equipment and propane to dry your grain. We have the capacity to make sure you never run out of fuel and to keep prices stable. Dependability, competitive prices, and exemplary service. That's PetroServe USA, helping America fuel better.
PetroServe USA.
Call today.
Mike Huckabee, Diamond and Silk, Rob Carson, Sebastian Gorka, and much more. Find Newsmax on all major cable systems. If your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them and demand it, or change to a cable system that does carry Newsmax. More than 20 million Americans have made the switch to a news source they can trust. Newsmax. Make the switch today. You won't go back.
Stop in and save with 11% off everything you need for your home right now at Menards. Update your appliances with top brands, including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion. Check out the largest in-stock selection to take home today at the lowest prices. Upgrade to energy-efficient appliances and save big. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through May 21st. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What a great organization. Helping families in need like ours. It's a godsend.
When an unexpected crisis strikes, Farm Rescue is here to help. Assistance is available free of charge to farm and ranch families during a major injury, illness, or natural disaster. We are currently accepting applications for spring planting and summer haying assistance. If you or someone you know could use a helping hand, call Farm Rescue at 701-252-2017 or visit farmrescue.org today.
Together. It's called the United States of America. Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. If you want to email into the show, very easy to do. Studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. I want to say thank you to Red Wing Shoes for sponsoring our studio email inbox. They do an amazing job making sure that all of our outstanding blue-collar workers can go out there all day long on their feet, working hard, and yet feeling great. Because what happens at Red Wing Shoes, you go down there, it's 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Again, 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Go see Teresa. She's going to give you a great protective boot and also customize it to your foot so you can feel great. So I had Teresa at redwingshoes.com. All right, earlier this week, I had an incident here in Fargo where a young man pulled out a firearm, fired some rounds inside Plaza Azteca, and then also continued to fire some rounds, ended up shooting, I believe it was his girlfriend. I don't want to give bad information. We're going to bring in the chief here in a moment, but also his young son. So we want to get the latest update on the situation here. And then, oh yes, the man found a car, drove away, and ended up killing himself via a self-inflicted wound. We do not have Chief Zibolski yet. So, Chief Zibolski, we are waiting on him to join us. Yes? Sorry, I didn't see that. So, super producer Chris Larson, if you can see we can get Chief Zibolski on the line here, that would be fantastic. So I want to give us a little update on the situation. Hopefully the chief will join us here to do the same as well. And then if not, we'll go back to the opening monologue in regards to the situation with the monkeypox. If you missed the opening monologue today, please go to our Facebook page. It is facebook.com/Chris Berg Show, or you can hit me up on Twitter as well. We live stream the show every single day thanks to Cirrus out of Fargo. And do yourself a favor, listen, watch the monologue from today, excuse me, and share it with your family and friends. So, as I mentioned earlier this week, young man, 24 years old, ends up pulling out a firearm in Plaza Azteca here in Fargo. He shoots his, I believe it's his girlfriend, Lucia Garcia, and then the 7-month-old baby named Dominic. It's hard to read when you imagine a person pulling out a firearm and firing it at the mother of your son and your son. Here's where we've talked about this before in the past, where things become really, really troubling. By the way, there is a GoFundMe page out there for the mom and the son. We'll talk more about that here in just a moment. So the gentleman that had the firearm, Mr. Gill, there was a warrant out for his arrest. That was back in April. So court docs say back in March of 2022, Gill had injured Miss Garcia by shoving her to the ground, grabbing her by the throat, pushing her. It sounds like we're getting Chief on the line, so we've got him here. So Chief Zibolski, thank you so much for joining us here on a Friday. We appreciate it. I was doing my best to sort of update the situation. Obviously, you've got much better intel than I do. So can you just maybe give us, everybody that wasn't aware of what happened at the Plaza Azteca, just a quick debrief, and then what's the latest news you have for us, sir?
Sure, Chris. Sorry for the delay there. The situation happened in the restaurant. Some type of, we don't know exactly what led up to it, but during the course of their time that they were there, they both quickly got up, and Mr. Gill started chasing her through the restaurant with a handgun out. She was obviously running with the infant, trying to protect it. And he was at certain points firing shots at her as she ran through the restaurant, and then outside onto the sidewalk and around to the west side parking lot, kind of in that area where she, one of the bullets struck her there, and she fell to the ground. So when our officers got there, they rendered aid to her immediately, keeping pressure on the pretty significant wounds to her upper torso area, which I think was significant in really saving her life, getting her to the hospital and getting her to where she is now, and still in ICU. I think still critical in ICU, but at least still alive, and we're hopeful that she continues to recover. The infant had some also gunshot injuries to the extremities. The infant is still stable. And then obviously after the incident, a lot of witnesses and video from the scene that helped identify the suspect vehicle, which shortly thereafter was connected to a different auto theft, 4100 block of 66th Street, in which Mr. Gill stole a vehicle and fled into Minnesota, where he was seen by Clay County deputies who initiated the pursuit. And at the end of that pursuit, he crashed into a tree, and appears that he committed suicide in the vehicle with the same firearm that was used in the incident.
Just a shocking story for a community of Fargo. What do you know about the person who fired these rounds? Meaning, can you give us some background on him? Were there some mental health issues, and how did he end up getting a firearm, knowing that he had been convicted for second-degree assault?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty heinous act to do something like that in a crowded restaurant where others could have been. I mean, it's bad to try and take somebody's life, but here you've got all these other innocent bystanders as well. You've got this infant So certainly, who knows what was going on at that juncture. I don't have any information about mental health, but we do know that they had prior domestic violence incidents, one in Fargo and one in Moorhead. In the case in Fargo, a warrant had just been issued late April for his arrest on a domestic violence assault charge. And in terms of he is a convicted felon as a result of some felony convictions in Minnesota. As to how he got the weapon, that's still under investigation, and we'll be working on following up on that particular issue with state and federal counterparts, and then going from there with any potential referrals.
Just your message to the community, to have a story again like this happen in Fargo is tough to stomach. So what's your message to our community?
Well, this is, I don't think it's a reflection of the community at all, but domestic violence by its very nature can be very deadly. It is actually, I think, right in front of traffic stops in terms of calls that are most lethal for law enforcement. And sometimes these incidents, they can pop off in any place at any time, and you've got innocent bystanders in some of the situations like we have here. I mean, it's I think just the issue of domestic violence is something that we certainly encourage our community members to report and come forward with, so that we can try and get resources and do whatever intervention or enforcement that we can do to prevent something like this from happening. But again, we don't know the exact circumstances of what led up to this decision on Monday until we're actually able to talk to the victim. I mean, there could have been some other triggering event that we just aren't aware of yet.
Thank you, Chief. Again, Fargo Police Chief David Zibolski with us here on a Friday after the incident from earlier this week, this place. Chief, I've got about 30 seconds up. I'll give you the last word. Anything else you want to add or share?
No, just really kudos to our officers, our other agency partners, dispatch, and our community members. We had a lot of great witnesses that stayed there and gave us critical information. I think, as a team, as bad as this incident was, that it was brought to fruition quickly because of everyone's cooperation, quick work by our officers and those in Clay County. And I think we really have to recognize and appreciate their efforts in a very stressful situation.
Yeah, it sounds like your team and your people ended up saving this young woman's life and this young baby's life. Yes.
Yeah, certainly the woman for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Chief Zibolski, thank you for the time here on a Friday. I know you got a lot going on, but we will talk to you again soon. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Chris. Have a good day.
You too. Again, there is a GoFundMe page as well for Miss Garcia and little baby Bill. If you want to find out more there, it is GoFundMe. Just basically search Lucia Garcia, baby Dominic. That should bring it up for you. You can get a chance if you want to help contribute to their restoration. It sounds like the mom's still in critical condition, according to Chief Zibolski. So keep her and little baby Gil in your thoughts and prayers. Want to invite you. Thank you very much. I think somebody just popped up the GoFundMe page. So thank you for doing that on our live stream. And I want to say thank you to Siricet Fargo for sponsoring our live stream. If you're someone right now who might be dealing with depression, anxiety, and it is out there. A lot of people are battling that right now. Do yourself a favor and give Siricet Fargo a call. It's a free consultation. The number is 701-566-5231. Again, 701-566-5231. That's Siricet Fargo.
Mostly cloudy for this evening with a slight chance for an isolated shower. We'll have a window to the northwest around 15 to 30, becoming 10 to 20 overnight. A frost advisory will go into effect as temperatures drop into the mid and lower 30s, a little closer to freezing up in the northern valley. We'll have lighter wind for your Saturday, still a slight chance for an isolated shower with highs in the upper 40s, and light wind for your Sunday. Sunshine comes back out with highs in the lower 50s. From the Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Hi, this is Dave Osted from Osted's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Osted's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Now Mike has done it again by introducing his My Slippers. And for a limited time, you will save $90 on a pair of My Slippers. This blowout sale of the year won't last, so order right now. These took over 2 years to develop. The My Slippers are designed to wear indoor or outdoors all day long. Made with MyPillow foam and impact gel to help prevent fatigue. And they're made with quality leather suede. Call 800-506-9028 right now. Use the promo code SCOTT. 800-506-9028 or go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square, and use my promo code SCOTT. Now, this offer will not last long, so remember, order now with your promo code SCOTT at MyPillow.com or call 800-506-9028 right now to save $90 a pair on My Slipper moccasins or slip-ons from MyPillow.
With warmer weather around the corner, now is the time to get your place ready for summer, and Broughton Cabinets is here to help. Broughton Cabinets has a dedicated team of full-time designers with over 40 years' experience. Whether you're building your dream home or remodeling and need to update your cabinets, no matter the design or budget, Broughton Cabinets will make your vision a reality, all while keeping your family in mind. Stop by our showroom on the I-29 frontage road next to Fleet Farm or visit online at BroughtonCabinets.com.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Isn't it great when you get credit for what you've done? When you choose the University of Mary to earn or finish your degree, our team examines your prior work experience and accomplishments that can be counted as college credits. We'll also add any transfer credits, plus encourage you to test out of courses where you are already proficient. With an entire University of Mary team working for you, you can do this. Discover the best path to your degree at online.umary.edu/discover more.
We're going to invite you to put on your boogie walking shoes, if you will, to help out and raise some money for a great organization. It's called the Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation. We're going to find out more about that in just a moment. I want to say welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free here on a Feel Good Friday. Thanks to Giving Hearts Day. We're going to take you down a journey right now that I think will inspire you to say, you know what? What can I do to get out there and make a difference for the great men and women that put their lives at risk to keep my liberties and my sovereignty in place? Let's hope that that lasts for a lot longer. Joining me in studio, John Delzell. He is with the Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation. We've had him on before. One of my favorite guests. So welcome back, man. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.
So you guys have got what you called what did you call it earlier?
A ruck.
Ruck.
It's the 5th annual Brady's Border to Border Ruck March. So it's a ruck. It's a military term. It's moving briskly with a pack on your back with weight. So we do that. Some people do 20 pounds. A majority of us this year are going to be doing 20 kilos. So it's 45 pounds. And obviously the 20 is to signify the 20 veterans that take their own life every day.
In large part due to PTSD. And that's what I want to get at. Let's talk about the Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation. Tell us a little bit about his story and what you're doing to make an impact and a difference for our great men and women that serve.
Well, Brady's a local kid from Ullin, graduated from Ullin High School. He went in the Army in 2009, deployed forward to Afghanistan with the 2-4, the 10th Mountain. He did 12 months in country. And once he came back, and a keynote on that is there was 140 guys in his unit that deployed. They had guys get hurt, but they didn't lose anybody. They had no fallen angels. So he comes back, gets married, gets out of the Army. They come back. They start a life. Him and Katie start a life back here in the Fargo Moorhead area, Bright Lakes. And he was struggling to reintegrate back in. Katie, his family, they didn't know what to look for. And then on August 6th, 2015, Brady took his own life. And a key point to that is since they've got back from Afghanistan, 2-4, the 10th Mountain, 14 guys from that unit have taken their own life. 10% of the unit that was there since they've been back have taken their own life.
So can you it's hard for a layman like myself and other people in the audience to think fully appreciate and understand. Here's what I mean. So I had a good friend of mine. We were out there the night chatting. She talked about her brother was over, served in Somalia. And she says, Chris, I hate to say this, he will never have peace until he takes his last breath because of what he did and saw. And for many of us, it's just sort of like, man, what was going on in Afghanistan? Do you think that you've got 10% of these young men and women suffering so much when they come back?
Well, I think, and personal opinion, I've deployed forward. I have friends that have deployed forward. I have friends that have come back that appear to be normal, but like we say, normal is only a setting on a dryer. But there's a lot going on in country when they're out in their forward operating bases where they're dealing and having effects with the Taliban every day, and limitations on when to shoot, when not to. Just war is a nasty, nasty thing. People can only try and see when they watch movies. And, there's only a few that really do justice to war, like Saving Private Ryan. The Outpost is a good one. The recent one about Clinton Romashia, the Medal of Honor winner who now lives in Minot. Tremendous movie. But you're running 115 miles an hour when you're over there. You come back, and it's that reintegration. And the saying is true. You can take the warrior out of the war. You can't take the war out of the warrior. It's still there. It's there every night. I have days. I was in the bombing in Beirut in 1983. And, once or twice a year, I'll have days that it's October 23rd, 1983 for me. It's vivid. Our computers, our brains aren't wrapped because we can continue to remember everything, and smells, songs set you back. So, that's a big thing with family members is trying to have those conversations with your vet, about triggers. What is it? Is it a smell? Is it a song, an incident, just to try and get people prepared for the onset of PTS, and it's the biggest thing the point that I want to make and continue to do, and you are a great mouthpiece for that, and you've helped us out before, is that it's really important that the guys and gals that are out there listening, that it will get better. Put down the gun, pick up the phone, call one of your battle buddies, call them, just start talking. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's actually a sign of strength. It's a time when you can get a chance to talk to somebody. And all you battle buddies out there, if you're not hearing from a buddy, reach out. Quick text. I mean, now we have cell phones that can text and everything. We're no longer, when I was in the 80s, it was write a letter or pick up the phone and call. But, it's one thing just to reach out and talk to them. And it can be from guys from the 80s, the 90s, and now since 2001, with those two wars that we've been such a significant part of. I just had a friend on January 23rd of last year of 2021, was a Marine, was a LA County deputy, and was an FBI agent for 22 years. He did 3 tours in Afghanistan, cracked 2 bones in his back because they were chasing a high-value target, and he saw the guy run, so he jumped out of the helicopter. And he was part of the Luna Caprisa bombing in Pakistan when 4 FBI agents got blown up. He was one of them. He brought all of that back, and even with all of the help that we have within the Bureau, he still, on January 23rd of last year, took his own life. So it's real. It's out there. We have guys that have volunteered to make a difference and not rely on somebody else for our freedoms and our way of life. The draft, those individuals that were drafted into Vietnam and that war, I feel sorry for those guys because, we come back, we have celebrations, they talk about us all day. We get on the radio, we talk about what we did, but, there's poor guys that just did what they were told to do.
That's why it breaks my heart now that I see that we're sending people, men and women, back into Somalia. It's just, anyways, I've got a minute left. I want to give you a chance to talk about what's happening for the Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation and how people can support you.
You can go to the Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation.org and give and donate. We are doing a 315-mile ruck from St. Paul to Ulan. Then there'll be a ceremony out at Ulan on Friday night, and then into the FM Veterans Bridge on Saturday morning at like 10 o'clock. We're going to have, there's 6 of us. I brought together friends from the Marine Corps and from the FBI. So between the 6 of us, we have 190 years of government service, ages between 60 and 50. So guys out there on the road that really understand what it's like to be forward, to answer the bell and go to the sound of gunfire.
Man, thank you for being here, what you're doing to help the men and women that serve and that are suffering. And that's the thing. It's silent to us and it's invisible. So it's hard to grasp what you're dealing with. So God bless you, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Chris.
Again, John Dalzell, he's got a big part of what's going on here with the Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation.org. I'm going to say that again so you can go check it out if you want to be a part of what they have coming up, or if you just want to donate your time, your money to help the great men and women that serve our nation and preserve our liberties. Again, it's Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation.org. Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation.org. Want to say thank you to Giving Hearts Day for sponsoring our Feel Good Friday segment here to help all of us just know what we can do to make a difference and make an impact for our great nation. All right, when we come back, I'm seeing some potentially breaking news here, thanks to super producer Chris Larson on Title 42. We're going to get you information on that. If you remember Title 42, they were going to let that go and just let the surge at the border happen. We'll see if that is going to stand true or not. Plus, some celebration and some mourning all at the same time. Coming up right after this.
They are detectives, investigators, school resource officers and deputies, state attorneys, jail chaplains, beat cops, and canine handlers. They are the honorees of the Luther Family Ford Salute to Law Enforcement. Everyone at Luther Family Ford says thank you to the men and women who protect and serve our community. They deserve our support, our encouragement, and our thanks. So thank you to all of you who protect and serve us. From Luther Family Ford and AM 1100 The Flag, WZFG.
Your smartphone? It's a lifeline to the outside world, and these days, a direct line to your bank account. At Starion Bank, we see the importance in helping you find balance, helping you get it all done, safely, easily. We want you to be able to safely deposit checks from your mobile device and easily move money to another person, open an account, order a new debit card, and set up account alerts no matter where your life takes you. What are you waiting for? The possibilities are endless. StarionBank.com. Explore banking here. Member FDIC.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. We carry 15 different varieties of concrete mix. Pour a sidewalk, set a post, or even pour a foundation. Just add water and mix. Right now, all concrete mixes are 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through May 21st. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Think about it. Minnesota collected way more from taxpayers than it needs, resulting in the largest budget surplus in history. It's time to give it back. Think about it. State spending is at an all-time high. The rainy day fund is full, and our income tax rates are the 6th highest in the country. Hey, Governor Walz, it's our surplus. Give it back. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Nothing says I love you like a new pair of shoes.
Hi, Teresa here from the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. Whether or not the father in your life needs new footwear, why not buy him a gift certificate to Red Wing Shoes? No matter the size of his foot or the demand of his job, Red Wing shoes are strong, they're durable, they provide comfort and stability.
Just like our dad.
Stop in and see for yourself at 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Red Wing Shoes for ultimate durability.
Discover Kinder Care. Kinder Care is assisted living homes located in West Fargo, offering adult daycare services, companion care, and assisted living. All the services you need available at Kinder Care, plus home-cooked meals, 24-hour security, personal care, and more, all in a cozy family environment located on 3 acres of land in a scenic, quiet country setting in West Fargo. KinderCareFargo.com or call 701-261-3246.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey, every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get different.
What a great jam here on a Feel Good Friday. Thanks to Giving Hearts Day here on the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. Man, I was dropping some truth bombs earlier today in the monologue. In case you missed it, do yourself a favor, go back and listen to it, watch it, facebook.com/Chris Berg Show. You can also always listen to the show just simply by going to chrisbergshow.com. Again, chrisbergshow.com. We archive all the shows there. And I'm sure you've been watching the markets as of late. You may remember we had Patrick Riley on, the CEO of Reaper Financial, a while back. And he says, hey, Chris, because this isn't financial advice. Just know that your 401ks, your IRAs may not be what you think they're going to be sooner rather than later. And we have seen that happen now in the markets. I mean, the S&P 500 down really into that bear market territory, that 20% marker. I bring all this up because if you're someone that's going, look, I need to deploy my capital, put it in a good place, know that it's going to actually grow rather than lose money. Again, not financial advice, but do yourself a favor and check out thereaper.io. Again, it's thereaper.io. It's Patrick Riley's token there. He's doing some pretty cool stuff with it. And just reach out to Patrick. If you are crypto curious, Patrick can kind of hold your hand and coach you through some stuff there. So again, just check out thereaper.io and hit up Patrick via email. Some breaking news here. I'm going to play a clip, and then we want to give some time to producer BG. But yes, a federal judge has put an injunction against the Biden administration, essentially upholding Title 42. Remember, Title 42 was going to drop on Monday, May 23rd. So this coming Monday, they were going to drop Title 42, meaning the Biden administration, which would have basically just sent a big sign at our southern border that just says bienvenidos. Like, welcome to the United States of America. Come on in. Free healthcare, free education for your kids. It's all good. Don't worry about it. The American taxpayer will take care of it for you. Well, the judge says, no. We are not going to drop Title 42. We're going to keep it in place and hopefully help prevent even more of a surge at our southern border. Senator John Hoeven put out a statement earlier today. Here's some of what he had to say.
Very important that we keep Public Health Order 42 in place to try to help stop illegal immigration into the United States on our southern border. That needs to be enforced along with the Remain in Mexico policy and the Third Safe Country policy. All three of those are very important to secure the border. This ruling by the judge today, though, continuing Public Health Order 42 is very important. More needs to be done to secure our southern border.
Amen to that. Hopefully we can send some money down to the southern border to help protect that rather than Ukraine sovereignty. So I said earlier today, some sad news and some celebratory news. Producer BG is going to be moving on from Flag Family Media. So I say congratulations, but you will be missed. Do you want to share your thoughts and just your experience here?
Yeah, for sure. I've absolutely loved working for the Flag. It's the best work environment. I can't believe I peaked at 21 in work environments. I was just telling my friend that yesterday, like, I really just peaked, like, having like great bosses, great management at 21. It's all downhill from here. But what a lovely problem to have. Like, I feel like very few people are genuinely sad on their last day of work, and I am one of them, but it's bittersweet. But it was a great time. But time to go.
That was so great. I peaked at 21.
I really did. Oh yeah, and I know it, but great problem to have.
It is a very good
Great
problem to have. If you want to share where you're headed, great. But I think also just we talked a little bit about, hey, you graduated, you're heading off to law school, and
Yeah, so I start law school in the fall. Until then, I'll be at an internship, and it's remote, which allows me to go home and see my mom, which I love. But yeah, headed to law school in fall. Excited for that. Nervous for that. So be sure to pray for me and send me good vibes and wish me the best.
So what are you most nervous about with law school? Just like the workload, or?
I would say the workload, yes, just because just everywhere you hear how intense it is, and I'm excited for it, but it will be a challenge. But
Do you have an inkling of like, oh my gosh, like this is what I'm most passionate about right now with law, or is it still kind of wide open for you?
for me, it's still wide open, which I'm looking kind of forward to learning that in law school of, okay, I absolutely do not like this area, or this area is it where I see myself for the next 10 years, 20 years, rest of my life.
When
So
did you know you wanted to go to law school?
I've kind of always wanted to be a lawyer, and I'm not sure necessarily why. But as I got older, I just realized it's the middle of the Venn diagram of everything that I enjoy and I'm passionate about, and everything that I have the skill set for. So I got lucky that it's a great career. So
Good for you. You going to be like a public prosecutor, you think, or like defense attorney, or?
I would prefer to be defense than a prosecutor, but we'll see. We'll see where the wind takes me.
Congratulations. And thank you for
so
your
much.
great contribution to the show and Flag
you.
Family. And I know you're going to do really, even though you've peaked at 21, you're still going to do really, really, really well.
I hope so. Maybe I can be the really good boss
There you
in
go.
the future. Yeah, that could be my thing.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better, actually.
You've learned well here. So you're going to be good. You're going to be fantastic.
There we go.
All right. This is the Chris Berg Show. Thanks so much for joining us here on a Feel Good Friday. Again, want to say thank you so much to Giving Hearts Day. Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you back here at 4 on Monday.